To hear you. This system will notify you once you begin your broadcast. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everybody and good evening. I hope you all are doing well. Let's see who is with us today. Great. Hope everybody's doing well. Today we're going to be updating our Google sites. As a reminder, I'm sorry for that long pause, just kind of waiting to see if we get a few more attendees tonight right at the start of the hour. If you remember, we made Google Sites at the beginning of the semester to act as portfolios for the different projects and work we would be doing this semester. Well, it's about time we update those. So we're going to spend the hour kind of reviewing Google Sites, getting our portfolio pages ready to go, adding our first updates, and then posting pictures and the files of our games onto the sites. All right. If you've been working on your Raspberry Pi with Scratch, then definitely have your Raspberry Pi set up. And you can actually work on your Google site through Raspberry Pi if you have it set up to work off the internet. If you do not have it set up to work off the internet, no worries. We can still get the files off of the Raspberry Pi and get you up and working in no time. Okay, well, it looks like this is the group for us this evening, and if anyone joins in a little bit, they can join on in. Right when I say that, someone else arrives. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find our Google Sites, navigate back to Google Sites. So that's sites.google.com, and I'll post that in chat. Now, if for whatever reason you never made a Google site or you can't access your Google site, don't worry, you can kind of follow along with us tonight and re-watch the webinars at the beginning where we set these up. Also, if there's time, I can work with you in a little bit on making one, but alright, so once, again, I just set out the sites.google.com, and you might need to log in. I'm going to give everyone a moment to, you should have your Scratch game open, and in addition, you should be logged on to your site. So I'm going to use oh, I don't think this is mine. I wonder whose this is. Okay. I won't use that one. Ooh, no. I'm trying to find the other one that I worked on for this class. We'll just here we'll just use a fresh slice of raspberry pie. So go ahead and raise your hand for me, please, if you need another minute to either get your Google site open or to pull up your Scratch game. All right. Looks like a couple people need another minute to get their Google sites open or Scratch game. So give them a minute. All right, and we're going to go ahead now and continue. So, if you never set up a page for where you'll be posting your project updates, you'll notice that this is the home page. Has a little bit about me, as I love coding, and a picture of cookies. I like baking. You could have kind of filled this out more, filled out a little bit more information, made it a little bit friendlier. But up here at the top, you'll notice that there's a Create page. Before we do that, I do want everybody to be looking at my screen. Please click to look at my screen for a moment. Notice that under Home, you'll see something. You see Project Updates here, and it's a kind of a sub-page for Home. So you see it under Home. Got to see here, sub-page. It's a separate page, but it's in almost the same category or the same menu bar as Home. So, all right, so let's see what that looks like. So up top, okay, and what I just showed you, the difference between Portfolio, which looks to be a page kind of its own, and Project Updates, which was a sub-page. That's the difference here. Put page at the top level makes it more like Portfolio. For this example, I'm going to put the page at the quote-unquote top level, more like Portfolio. You want to name your page something to do with the fact that it's going to hold project updates. So it could be your project page or your projects page. It could be your Young Engineers of Today page. It could be your portfolio page, Engineers of Today projects page. So Young Engineers of Today projects. This next step is super important, so please do pay attention to this. When it says select, what that says, a mini blog, so that you're able to post separate posts, like multiple posts to one page, instead of having to make a different page for every project that we do. So you give your page a name that has something to do with the fact that it's like a project page. You're going to select the announcement template. And you're going to put the page at either the top level or make it a sub-page. Hey, Kate. Nice to see you this evening. I believe you just joined us. And then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and hit Create. All right, and this is your new page. You see that you don't have any posts on it, and you're going to go ahead and have to create a new post. So I'll give people a minute to catch up with that. Alright, so you're going to go, once you finish that, you're going to hit New Post. And I'll go over this again in about 20 minutes once I kind of showed all the steps. 15-20 minutes, I'll go over it completely fresh in case you're falling behind or you missed a step. So the new post, it almost looks like you're making a page. It's almost, you can think about it like a mini page. So it's an untitled post. I'm going to call this one, I like puns, so I'm going to call this one I gotta scratch that coding itch, or that itch to code. Okay, you could also just say scratch project or programming, learning to program, anything like that. So that's your kind of your title for your post. And then just like when you how you can change the layout for an entire page, you can change the layout to make it, I'm actually going to do that. So that I'll have kind of pictures on one side and text on the other. Start with the text. So what do you want to write in these project updates? You want to explain a little bit about what we've been doing in class, and then your experience in specific. So what we're going to start with the past 3 weeks. Our class has been learning to code using MIT's to create animations and games through puzzle-like coding that is easy, quick, and fun. And I know sometimes it's not the easiest, not as easy as maybe playing Flappy Bird on your cell phone, but it's easier than learning kind of more of a line-based programming language. So maybe you could even just say quick and fun. I'm going to put easy sometimes, or at least to start. We coded the game. I found, or I got frustrated when I felt proud when I really enjoyed. So these are just ways that you could think about to talk about your experience with the project. Make it a little bit more personal. So kind of at the start, and you could expand more than that. This is the first time I've ever used Scratch. I've never programmed before, and I was surprised. Yeah, surprised is a good one. I was surprised when... These are all just different prompts that you can talk about. No worries, sisters, Rachel and Hannah. We are updating our Google Sites in about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. I'll be starting from scratch, starting from kind of square one, and explaining what you do to get to. I changed the layouts to make it 2 columns. I'm going to put pictures on this side, and I'm going to put text on this side, and I left some prompts here. So you wouldn't say, I enjoyed my animation, ... You would explain more. But that's just, and one example. You don't have to answer all these questions. You could just talk about one project to someone else. So you're not just showing off, though it sometimes can be nice to show off, quote unquote. But you're also, practicing that skill as well. Communication is huge. So yeah, save that draft. And the first thing I'm going to do to get my picture is you see that we have these different views. You have small stage view where it's really small and you can see more of your code. Large stage view where it's a little bit bigger, and presentation view. I am, for the current moment, I'm going to go through the 3 different examples. The first is on a Mac computer, an Apple, Macintosh computer. Okay, not a Raspberry Pi, not a Windows. So, if you are on a Mac, you can hit Command, which is the button next to your spacebar, Command, Shift, 3. And that will take a screenshot of your entire page. That was Command, Shift, 3. And it will save a screenshot to your desktop. Like this. And you can see the whole desktop. So again, if you are using a Mac, but you just want to get a picture of, let's say, this, you can hit Command, Shift, 4, and it allows you to click and drag to get just a portion of your screen. So it looks like this. So on a Mac, and I'm going to put this in the chat, it's Command, Shift, 3 is full screen. And Command, Shift, 4, and again the Command key is right next to the space bar, is partial. Click and drag. Okay, now if you are on a Windows computer, you're going to need to find the Windows icon key that looks like a flag, should look like a flag, and the print screen button. And by holding down the Windows kind of icon and then pressing print screen, it should print the screen and save it either to your desktop or to your documents. Okay. So that's Windows print screen, and it should get you a screenshot. Last category. If you are on a Raspberry Pi, there is not an easy way to take screenshots. There is software that you can install onto your Raspberry Pi, but we're not going to do that this evening. Instead, there are a couple of options. The first option that you can do is physically take a picture with your phone or with a camera. That might be pretty easy, at least to take the picture, not necessarily to get the picture off of the camera. But a lot of times it won't look very good. It can look good, but a lot of times when you take a picture of a computer screen, you kind of get these wavy rainbow lines, and it just doesn't look very good. What I would recommend is finding your Scratch game and either saving it directly onto your Raspberry Pi, onto your Google site page. So I'm going to go up here to hit the pencil. You see Edit Page. Adding that file, and I'm going to go through that now. So at the bottom you see Add Files. I can go to Documents, and you can do this on your Raspberry Pi. Under Documents, you'll be able to find Scratch projects, and you'll be able to find your game. And then you can either just, not include any pictures, just include the game, or in chat as well. But I'll probably post it on Edmodo. it takes a little bit of time. Okay. Any questions on how you can take photos of your game? Any questions at all? Computer and to transfer the game over. Now there is another way. You don't have to upload your game to Google site to get it onto your computer. You can plug a flash drive, or also called a USB drive, into your Raspberry Pi. Amelia, if you're using Scratch on your TV, are you using your Raspberry Pi? Then you have to several ways. One, if your Raspberry Pi is hooked up to the internet, you can simply add that file to Google, your Google site, and download it off of your laptop, and also get the Scratch download as well. Scratch 1.4, and download that onto your Windows computer. The other way is Eyes Up on 2 Model B. You can see that they have 4 USB slots. You only need 2 for your mouse and keyboard. You can plug in a flash drive or USB drive. Go to your file manager on your Pi, which is in the bottom left corner. In your Documents folder, you can find Scratch projects. You can find the file for your game and click and drag it over onto that flash drive, and it will make a copy of it onto the flash drive, and you can switch computers. That's the easiest way. Questions on that? Okay. I am going to go over what we've done so far. Okay, so Rachel and Hannah, now would be a good time to listen up. We called it something to do with the fact that we were creating a project portfolio or project update. And the template that we used was that for announcements. So that way you'd be able to, for the home page, does not matter. And you're going to hit create, I'm going to hit cancel, because I already have 3 of these. You only need 1 though, just to show some examples. You hit new post. You get to make the page look cool. You went to layout and you chose a new layout. Or you could stick with 1 column. I'm going to do 2 columns, and that way I'm going to add a picture. Someone asked for my text, and I'm wondering if they meant the message. Raise your hand if you would like a copy of my text, what I wrote in my post, the first post that I did. Okay. I'll put that in chat. Have these kind of prompts to go off of. And you can expand at any point, or if you weren't surprised this whole time you were like, I'm not surprised by any of this, you don't have to answer that one. You can just delete it. So you give it a name. I have the 2 columns here. I added a file, and that file was my actual Scratch game. If you're using Scratch 2.0, you could add a link by saying insert link to give the link to your game. I'm going to go ahead and insert an image, and that image I'm going to upload it from my desktop, and that's going to be my screenshot. Okay. And that looks like a pretty good size. Let's see what large looks like. That looks good. And all right, it's 7:33. I'm going to give everybody about 7 minutes to create their post with any pictures. I'm here to answer any questions. No worries, Ken. No worries. Answer any questions, whether it be about Google Sites, what we're doing right now, how I got any of the parts of my Google site, or about Scratch. But we'll spend about the next, let's say, 7 to 10 minutes working on this. And for those of you who want to notice in the editor that you can use HTML tags. Now, there's a whole lot of extra information, but if you just go to the top, it's going to add extra information. There's not really anything we can do about that, but you can still add like a header, the starting tag for a header, ending tag for a header. If I want to make wonderful bold, now the start and end header right here. I can update that. Oh, no, the screen's not frozen, Brooke. I'm here. I'm just waiting. So for people right now are adding their own pictures and their own descriptions to their sites. So it's given everyone, it looks like, about 6 to 8 more minutes to do that on Google Sites. to about 7:45. So to take the pictures and then to add to their Google site. And if you don't want to do that, go back into Scratch. Maybe change the stage. Right now our stage is pretty boring. I bet you could make that background a lot cooler. That's what I'm going to do with my time, just so you don't think that the screen is frozen. How do you take pictures again? Rachel, could you respond what kind of computer that you're using? I'm going to repeat all three, just in case anyone else has that question, but if you could send it to me, I can help you. So if you're on a Mac, Command-Shift-4 allows you to take a picture by clicking and dragging to select how big the box you want it. Command-Shift-3 takes a picture of your whole screen. And either of those, you can find those pictures on your desktop. If you're on a Windows machine, you hold down the Windows icon, I think it looks like a flag on your keyboard, and you hit Print Screen. And that should end up on your desktop, I believe. If you're on a Raspberry Pi, it gets a little bit more tricky. There's a few steps. So somehow you need to get that game, that file with your game on it, onto another computer if you want to take pictures. Because taking screenshots, it's not easy as it feels like it should be on a Raspberry Pi. So to do that, there are a few ways you can do it. You can do it over the internet using your Google site by adding a file to the bottom on your Raspberry Pi and then downloading that file once you get onto another computer. Or you can take a flash drive, plug it into your Raspberry Pi, open your file manager on your Raspberry Pi, and take your Scratch file, click and copy and drag it kind of onto wherever your flash drive ends up on the desktop for your Raspberry Pi. Or you can do it all within the file manager. Then put that flash drive into your other computer and pull a file onto your desktop or onto your documents. You're going to need that other computer to have Scratch 1.4 on it. And I sent out the downloads for that. It's this page and it's in chat. And then from that point, you could just go File, Open, and find the project that way. Windows button and print screen. Oh, you fixed it. Okay, Brooke, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that it was broken. Oh, did you fix your background? I don't know. Well, if you fixed your background, I would love to see a picture. See, it unnerves me that it's doing that. It should not bounce off of the lava. I'm switching out this block because it doesn't seem like every time the ball hits the red, it really responds. So I'm switching it to say if it's touching the lower lava or it's touching the upper lava. So my mouse needs to catch up. Then it needs to stop the script. Still did not work. I think it might be because it's off the edge of the screen. So first, the ball is actually hitting the edge, it's on edge, and bouncing off before it actually touches the lava. So let me move it up a little bit and see if that solves the problem. There we go. Okay, so if you guys have been watching this as opposed to editing your sites, this should work now. What was happening is I made my lava too close to the edge, and so it was sensing that it hit the edge before it sensed that it even hit the red lava. It looks like there's some amount of margin where it counts kind of where my mouse is as the edge as opposed to this gray line as the edge. So by moving the lava up a little bit and down a little bit, that seemed to work well. Uh-oh. Rachel, try just print screen. And check your desktop and your documents for that screenshot. I'm looking up alternatives right now. Let's see what Microsoft has to share. Okay, so it looks like what these people are saying is that it's making a copy. So in the last class, people were able to just have the file be made by holding down Windows. But if you hit Alt, print screen, and then go to Paint and open a Paint window, you can go to hit then Edit Paste, and it's almost like copying and then pasting an image, but the image is your screen. Then you can save that, and that's your file. Try that, Rachel. And the instructions are right here up on my screen if you didn't hear me. And anyone watching this, recording or otherwise. And I know, Rachel, you're still trying to get that picture, but I'm going to go ahead and ask people, just because it's 7:45. Raise your hand if you're ready to move on, if you're done with your Google site. All right, it actually only looks like a couple people who are ready to move on. And some people, or most of the group, is still working, which is absolutely okay, because what I have to show those people that have moved on is something that the group can do at any point, not just in class. So those of you who are ready to move on, you guys can try this new, it's actually a game. It's a review of HTML, but I personally think a very cool one. But then those of you who want to just keep working on your Google site, absolutely do that. So Rachel, if you could respond if that's working. I'm going to go ahead and move the screen off of these instructions, but if you need them again, just let me know. So no one should stress right now if you're still working on Google site. I'm going to go ahead and introduce this game. If you could pay attention to my screen for a little bit, and then you can go back to Google site in just a moment. So this education group made this really wonderful game called Erase All Kittens. And it's a review of HTML. And just like I showed you just a moment ago, how you can practice editing, that's enough. So I would hate for you to kind of get introduced to it and never see it again. So I thought today with our blog update might be a good time to introduce this game. And it's pretty fun, I'm not going to lie, I got addicted. I know the graphics are a little silly and the story's a little silly, but the game is actually very addictive. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play the demo.
Long, long ago, in the times of the ancient internet, humans lived in a world without kitten gifts. Then, in 345 BC, before cats, the internet arrived. All of humankind rejoiced. They discovered something that brought great happiness and meaning to their lives. Cute. Kittens grew more popular and started to appear all over the internet universe. This brought you great joy. The kittens didn't care that you, Arca, were an outcast, rejected by the creatures of the internet, and doomed to live in the ancient ruins. In fact, kittens were your only friends, until one by one, they started going missing.
Okay, so this is your little character, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the music off. Oh, the music's already off. But you can hear music. This is nice. And you can jump around, which is fun. And then when you stumble over these boxes, it's a little GIF comes up to play, which is cute. When you go to the portal, you can hit the down key and it'll take you to the next level. Now this is where the game actually gets cool. Before that, that's kind of just a little flash game. But this is the game where you actually are practicing your HTML skills. So over here, and follow the instructions on the screen. Try to jump to this ledge. Oh no. Okay, well, I didn't make it to the ledge because the ledge is not long enough. So we're actually going to edit the HTML on the screen, and by making changes to the HTML, we can get the kitten to this side of the screen. So I'm going to turn the music back on for a second, because you get your instruction through the voice.
Pink pantaloons, he's got it! Now, this stuff up here is the HTML source code of the ledges. It describes the stuff shown on the screen to the right. This code is the ledge you are on, and this code is the ledge on the right. Each ledge starts with a P in pointy brackets and ends with a /P in pointy brackets. These are called tags.
And we've learned that, right? So if you're playing the game, it's important to listen to what she's saying, or else you won't be able to finish the level. But it's a great way to practice your HTML. So we have to lengthen the content between the ledges. So I love my Young Engineers of Today class. They are a wonderful, great group of hard-working students. And notice that that is lengthening the ledge on the left, and you could lengthen the ledge on the right, but that gives you the bridge that you need when you hit save, and then your cat person character can travel along. You get another little gift there. All right, and it's very addictive, and it does get tougher. It becomes kind of more of a challenge as you add boxes, which are divs, and it really is teaching and enhancing and kind of testing your HTML skills. So it's a really wonderful game called Erase All Kittens. My high schoolers got to play with it for a little bit just to test it out, and they approve. Even with so I know some of the graphics can look a little cheesy, but it's a wonderful review of HTML, and that's posted on Edmodo as well. So, for the remainder of class, you guys are going to continue with your Google sites. If you guys want to try Erase All Kittens, please by all means give it a try, and I would love you all, and of course this is not graded, and I won't know, but I would love for you to try editing your pages using a little bit of HTML. So why not? It's a great challenge. Alright, so I'm here to answer any questions, whether it be about Google Sites, HTML, if we want to go over some HTML, or about Scratch, just for the last few minutes of class. Rachel, I could try to help you troubleshoot more about the print screen. You can try to find your Paint application. Okay, great, Rachel. I've enjoyed seeing everyone's work on Edmodo. I liked everyone's reaction to my dog. It's very heartwarming when you love your animal like a family member, and everyone loves her as well. So let's take a look. Rachel, looking for your stuff here. Rachel, oh, third degree, oh yeah. Take a look at this. Ooh, very cool. Very neat. Enjoying that a lot. Very, very cool. Okay, I'll go ahead and take a few screenshots for you. Look at my high score. Oh, how cool. Uh-oh. Ah! I love the little referee gliding in from the side. This is really neat, Rachel. All right. Cool. If anyone else wants to share, please feel free to put it on Emoto. I really enjoy getting to see your stuff. I know sometimes I don't respond right away, but I definitely will respond, and I'm definitely looking, so I love to see it. So Rachel, I'm going to go ahead, and how am I going to do this? I will... Veterinarian, very cool. I don't think I can send you a message. Maybe I'll just post them on Edmodo, and you can get it. Are you in the Winston-Salem, Rachel? Or the Imaginon? Let's see. That's what I thought. You know. I think that on Monday we are either making a new, but we might be starting our 3D printing unit on Monday. I need to ask Mr. Dubik about that, but that would be great. Get to do some 3D modeling and hopefully get access to the 3D printer pretty soon. So until kind of that point, hope you guys enjoyed what you're doing. I'm loving to see this work come out. Have a wonderful evening then. If no one has any questions, I'll let you guys go. And I look forward to seeing some of your Google Sites and some of your Scratch stuff. Have a good one.